Hello everyone, Bryan here with your Las Vegas market update video for September. Well, if you saw last month's update video, you know that I publicly came out and explained why the Las Vegas housing market is headed for a downturn. For almost 3 months now, I've been telling people that our inventory is skyrocketing at a very disturbing pace. I've told you and my clients to cash out while you're still ahead. I predicted that come Halloween, we would reach 6,000 available homes. If I was right and we reached 6,000, that would effectively mean that in only 6 months, we doubled our inventory. Just like back in October of 2011, when I predicted the upcoming housing inventory shortage, people thought I was absolutely crazy to think that our inventory would double in only 6 months. Now, especially when all you read about is how well Las Vegas is doing and how we're leading the country in home price appreciation. Well, guys, I'm here to admit, sometimes you just have to admit that you're wrong. So here you go. I was wrong. I was wrong because I underestimated just how soft our market is becoming. So like we always do, let's check out the inventory levels and see how wrong I actually was. Here's a visual to explain just how pervasive the inventory increase looks like. Back in April, we bottomed out at 3,000 homes. Last month, when I showed you this, we were at 4,680 homes. Still pretty far from 6,000. Well, we ended August at 5,527 homes. Our inventory went up another 18% in only 1 month. Now, numbers-wise, we added 847 more homes just sitting around in 1 month. So here's where I was wrong. As of today's filming, we are already at 5,940 homes. This means that in the second week of September, we will have hit 6,000 available homes. Put differently, in only 5 months, Las Vegas has doubled its available inventory of homes. I repeat, in only 5 months, Las Vegas has doubled its available inventory of homes. Now, we're currently averaging about 20% increase in inventory monthly. That's completely and utterly insane. Almost as insane as the price increases we've seen the past couple of years. So let me put this to you a little bit differently. At the rate we're going, even if we slow down to say only 15% increases for the next 4 months, we'll end the year with 10,000 homes available. Now, don't say I never warned you, right? Okay, next is a quick breakdown of the current inventory. As you can see now on the screen, only 12% of the inventory are short sales now, while only 5% of the market are foreclosures. That leaves 83% of the homes on the market as traditional sales. Now, the key number in this mix here is that there are only 314 foreclosures on the market. Now, just remember that number for later. Next, we look at the NODs, or Notice of Defaults, to see what kind of foreclosure activity is occurring. As you can see, back in June, we plummeted as a result of the new laws that were passed, which greatly affect the way that banks handle their foreclosure filings. We got better in July, and by last month, we were almost back to where we were. The new laws go into effect in October, and frankly, I don't think we'll see much of a change in foreclosure filings until next year. Now, let's go into the segment that I started last month called The Tides of Change. Next week, our inventory will have doubled to 6,000 homes in only 5 months. We only have 300 foreclosures and only 700 short sales on the market. But we have confirmed 40,000 homes that are sitting vacant and roughly 80,000 homes that are delinquent on their mortgage. Now, if we reach 10,000 available homes on the MLS by the end of this year, we are at critical mass to become a complete buyer's market. Now, towards the end of the year, the news media will start running stories about the slowdown in Las Vegas housing. This could actually have a very dire effect on buyers' confidence. You see, if buyers pull out and wait, motivated sellers will have to lower their prices to sell. In fact, I'm already seeing this happen right now. The biggest problem we face is the fact that we falsely blew prices up by manipulating this market. The only reason prices went up is because we stopped foreclosing on homes and effectively shrank the inventory. Now, eventually, we have to address this issue and start foreclosing again. With interest rates rising, mortgage insurance rates that are through the roof now, and a market that's already corrected itself and is starting down the barrel of a foreclosure shotgun, the future just doesn't look good for Vegas. 2013, or I should say 2014, looks to be potentially bad or just completely terrible. We could easily give back 10 to 20% of our home equity next year. Obviously, I'm hoping for a soft landing, but here's what nobody is even thinking about. If the market does crash and the banks start introducing foreclosures again, what market segment is the most volatile here? The answer is owners with little equity. Over the past year, home builders have been fighting to throw up as many new homes and acquire as much land as possible. Now, most of the homes built are on the lower end of the market, since the low end of the market was essentially disenfranchised because they couldn't get their offers accepted because of cash buyers and et cetera, et cetera. So here's the typical case. A regular buyer looking for a $250,000 home. They're an FHA buyer putting down only about 3.5%. Now, after getting their offer rejected 10 times because of cash buyers and watching these prices soar, they decide to just go ahead and buy a brand new home instead. Well, most of the new homes were about 20% more expensive than the same exact resale home right down the street. So let's say that next year the market does dip 20%. This owner who just bought a brand new home last year that was 20% overpriced just became 40% underwater. Add the cost of selling a home at about 8%, and these people are upside down almost 50%. Now, since most of these new homes were purchased with little money down, these owners have no equity and cannot afford to sell their house. If the market crashes and it looks like a repeat of last time, most of these new homeowners will be very compromised. Well, guess what? In Nevada, any loan that was originated after October 1st, 2009 is now considered non-recourse, meaning the lender cannot come after the borrower. So all of these new homes built this past year in, say, Mountain's Edge or the Northwest are exceptionally volatile neighborhoods should a crash occur. You see, if these owners wake up one day and find themselves, let's just say 30% underwater, why would they not just walk away when there's no financial or legal penalty now against them? These homes were overpriced when they purchased them, but since there was such a shortage, people would buy anything at any price. Now, if the market adjusts and reality sets in, those new homes will be instantly adjusted in value dramatically. Remember, many of the new homes were sold to people who foreclosed or short sold only 3 years ago, and that's why they needed an FHA loan to purchase. Now, you see why the market has great potential for collapse should the inventory swell to 10,000 and banks begin unloading their foreclosures next year. Now, for the record, I'm not predicting this is going to happen. I'm simply illustrating the realistic volatility of a market that was falsely inflated and faces an inevitable large volume of foreclosures in the future. So to quickly wrap this up, the market is still good by conventional terms. I mean, homes are still selling and realistically selling relatively quickly. They just aren't flying off the shelves like they were before. Listing prices need to be realistic, and in many cases less than what the comps are, since buyers and much pickier, the buyers are more pickier and confident than over the last 2 years. So don't expect your home to sell in a couple weeks. It might take you a couple of months if you aren't aggressive with the price. But again, if you're looking to sell in the future, sell it for whatever you can get now. If you're looking to buy, it better be your dream house, because time is actually on your side, and prices are certainly not going up at this point. It's merely a question of how much prices decrease in the area that you're looking at. I would completely avoid buying any new homes at this point. Most of the new homes are 20% overpriced, and in some areas well beyond that even. Now, in 6 months, I think you'll start to see some of these new homes failing to appraise once they're built. New home builders are in for a very bad run, I think, here in the future. Lowering prices are the last option for home builders, so expect in the next 6 months to see huge incentives at new home sites. On the resale side, be very careful about buying homes in very new and upcoming areas, since we already discussed the possible volatility that exists there. Look for areas that are a bit more developed, mature, and have more long-term stability. The older parts of Summerlin, for instance, are still priced very reasonable and have some of the highest levels of equity while being located in an area where there's tremendous commercial growth occurring. With that said, thank you all for watching this super long update video. Feel free to contact me with any questions or concerns you have about the market. Please subscribe here and have a fabulous September.